Good morning, everybody.
Hello, hello. Hooray.
Happy belated Halloween.
Cheers.
Moving into November. Yes, need coffee.
Most definitely. Wow.
I
We were
slept
just
in a
talking
little.
about, oh, sorry, Jen.
I slept in a little, so this is my first cup of the day.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, me too, actually. It's been just, yeah, a little tired this week, little tired, kind of keeping up. Yes. So, how is everybody?
We were just talking about trick or treaters. I didn't have as many this year, so I had to take all my leftover candy to the music studio where I take my guitar lessons on Thursdays and put it out for the kids coming in for music lessons to munch on. And I think the teachers were as thrilled as the kids with the candy.
That's for sure. Yeah, you can really keep teachers going with a little bit of chocolate. Oh, look at everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Sharon. Hi, Beth Cat.
I, yeah, I was going to
Hi,
say thank
Marty.
you, Sharon and Beth, my moderators that are present.
Hi, Annie.
I don't know
Yay.
why I'm shuffling cards. I'm not pulling cards.
Oh,
It's a habit
you're
when I
free
sit at
to
the
you
table.
free to shuffle, girl. Free to let them roll.
It's this habit when I sit at the table. I start
Yes.
shuffling cards. My therapy.
Oh, I've got a friend who wants to come up and say hi. She as soon as the camera clicks on. This
Oh,
is
hello, dear.
Rosie. And she has to know what's going on. Yes, I know. Thank you for kisses. Okay, go bye. Go bye. So Rosie we had quite an interesting morning. It's a gorgeous fall morning. It's clouding up a little now, but it was so sunny when we first went walking, and there were squirrels everywhere, running every direction. Oh my gosh, she was out of her tree. And so we had quite a amazing walk while they're gathering their last minute nuts. And then we came back and she has a show that she likes, squirrels in the window. Some lady just records squirrels coming up and she puts food out and the squirrels come. And so Rosie's fascinated. So she's got her favorite show on, but she's over here to get on camera. So yeah, it's been quite a exciting morning.
Yeah, I have a DVD of birds and rodents and all kinds of things for cats, to watch, but I haven't put it on once since I got the kittens last year. It's like they're so destructive, because
Yeah.
they're like all over the place. I got Lucy calmly back here.
Nice. Lou's going to teach them calming methods, calming strategies, coping strategies.
She gets down and plays with them some, but uh,
But then
sometimes
she,
she'll get somewhere like this where she's by herself, and
yeah,
I just
just
watched
keep
the kitten jump off the love seat into the living room like a 10-foot leap.
so
They're
crazy.
all wound up this morning.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and it's just I love fall, so we're out a lot walking, and yeah, she just
Fall and
really
winter are
enjoys
my
it.
favorite seasons. I wish, because we're both in Illinois, I wish I lived somewhere where it didn't get quite so brutally cold in the winter. I
Yes, I was
do
going to
love
ask
to
you that.
walk in the winter.
Yeah, me too. Like you said, though, it's hard. Like when it's really gets icy is the worst part. When the sidewalks are so icy, like when it's really frozen over. That's my part. I'm not wild about because yeah, I love to walk. So
I
it's
love to walk in the snow, and it's like, when it goes minus 20 degrees, I'm like, oh
yeah,
no,
it
we're not
burns.
going
It
out there.
burns. Yeah, yeah. Anything when it hits below 20, it's hard for me. I don't like that burning feeling.
Yeah, it's funny. I was yesterday on my day off, I was watching this video of this family in Siberia and how they
Oh,
survive, in those, it goes minus like 70 to minus
yeah,
90
yes.
Fahrenheit. It's brutally cold. And they only take showers and do their laundry once a week, and they have this hut outside the house. They stoke it up with wood, and they have to get out there, and split the wood, in the
Wow.
cold, and stoke up this house. They get it to about 70 degrees on the positive side, not negative 70. and then they go in and melt snow to create the water to bathe in and to do their laundry. And
Wow.
they were hand washing laundry. I was like, oh, holy
I
cow. I
mean,
am
what?
grateful I live in the USA.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, how do you have time for anything else? And it's
They
just,
said it's like that's why they only do it once a week because it's a full day thing. So the mom
yeah,
and the daughter would bathe, and then the dad and the son would bathe, and the mom and the daughter
wow,
would do the laundry before they bathed, and they would hang the clothes out on a they had a pole, not a line, not a clothesline. They had a like a pole. They would throw the sheets and the clothes on it, and within like a minute it would freeze solid,
wow,
and the freezing of it would pull all the moisture out. So then they take these frozen clothes that were like I don't know how they even they couldn't even fold them. They were frozen. They would take
right?
them in the house and they'd be dry. They just had to thaw out.
Wow,
It was
that's so
crazy.
crazy. When my
Y'all
dad
look for
was
that
young,
living in
yeah,
Siberia
no,
videos. It's
no
pretty crazy.
Siberian. No, thank you.
Makes me very grateful for where I live.
Yes, very grateful for -8. I think I remember sending Jody one morning. I was driving to work and it was -8, and I just sent her a click because she's down a little further south, so she's a little warmer. And I clicked on the phone and sent it to her, and she was like, "Oh boy." But that's not -70. Like there's a whole. I remember though my dad he grew up in Illinois, so the boys, he had 3 brothers, so 4 boys, not a good, that's a tough thing. So my grandmother had all the sheets hung out on the line, and it was just about frost, and they took a baseball bat and boom, and just shattered the sheets, and boy, she chased them halfway to school. And the thing just shattered like it was frozen solid. We just took the bat and went boom, and the whole sheet went just explode.
I mean, it's crazy if you think about indoor plumbing. Like we've been very fortunate, since
Yes,
the 1900s or whatever to have indoor plumbing the last 100
yes.
years. I'm like, I can't imagine when it's brutally cold having to go to an outhouse. I
Yep,
just can't imagine.
100%. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're talking about gratitude today, boy.
I'm
That's
finding
just
things to be grateful for the time
yes.
that I'm born in right now.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. I think of it every day, especially if I'm feeling a little cranky. On my way to work, I'm like saying, I'm thankful for hot water. I'm thankful for, a roof over my head. I'm thankful for my heater. I'm thankful, it's just, boy, yeah, we
That's
are
it.
very
It's
lucky.
really hard when you're going through difficult times. It's really hard to get in gratitude mode and to find something that you're grateful for. So you
Yes.
have to often just pause and think of the simple little things to put some positive energy out there when you're really going through it.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, even to slow down your breathing, connect with your heart, and just start with one simple little thing, right? That's kind of when I really
Baby
go down
steps.
the rabbit hole. Baby steps.
Baby steps. I call it take little baby steps towards gratitude.
Yes. Oh my gosh, there was that old movie, What About Bob, with Bill Murray, and they had the book was called Baby Steps. Do you remember that? I had
That's
a friend that the whole family dressed up like all characters from that this year. I was like, wow, that's obscure. But he had the Baby Steps book. Oh my gosh.
it's
Yeah.
those little things that you can find puts you in alignment more with grace to get through things a little bit easier, or divine order. And I was thinking about bountiful, living a bountiful life. And you think about a bountiful harvest. Well, that means you had to plant seeds to grow something to have a harvest, right? So
Right.
I was thinking about, okay, what kind of seeds do I want to plant this year to harvest next year? I'm thinking
Mhm.
ahead a little bit, and what do I want to get into, or what would I like to try, or where would I like to go, or what are things I'd like to do, or do I want to do something to get out and make some new friends? It's interesting because when I read for people, a lot of times, people start feeling isolated, and I think, with COVID, we've all
Yes.
felt quite isolated. So trying to think of things that you can do that you would enjoy, but that gets you out and meet someone else that you have something in common with to develop some new friendships.
Yes. That's so funny. I've been thinking about that in terms of goals, that as well is just kind of bringing people back together. Starting a book club is my next goal. Just, kind of inviting people over for tea more. I just, because everything's been so crazy with interest in buying, I was going to start looking for a little house, but I realized you're foolish. So I bought another couch, and I bought a table with a big leaf in it, so I can just have people, try to build that community. We've become so separated from each other and isolated. And I think that's a huge part about this struggle that we're having to kind of come back together and bring the carts back around. It's so important to spend time.
Circle the wagons.
Yeah, circle the wagons. That's what I was thinking. Come on, everybody, come back around. We got to get it together.
I find a lot of times, in talking with people, doing readings and stuff, when they can't seem to get aligned with gratitude and things, they blame themselves for a lot. Like, I'm not worthy, or I'm not good enough, or I'm so ugly, or I'm so this, or I'm so that. And it's like, you have to quit judging yourself and
Yes.
accept yourself and love yourself just the way you are, because you're perfect just like you are. You're perfect in your imperfections.
Yes.
And being grateful, for every opportunity that comes along,
Yeah.
and being grateful for the things that don't come along, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
very grateful that, I live in a secure house and
Yes.
secure neighborhood and have lovely friends around.
For sure. And I think that's so true about just, going easy on yourself, especially when you feel like you've fallen away from gratitude and fallen away from that connection. Um, don't blame yourself. One step at a time, whatever feels right, whatever, not to blame yourself or, oh my God, I should be doing more. Or, we all get in that headspace, but
Yeah.
it just keeps you further away. Yeah.
And
And
sometimes the universe, offers you that opportunity to just be. So,
yes,
it's not monotonous, just enjoying the day to day.
right.
It's not mundane. Sometimes the universe brings us that because we need rest from things that we've gone through.
Yes.
So, being grateful for just, a nice, beautiful, boring day that you can enjoy.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Because
Yeah.
you
I've
can get
been
the opposite that's like, oh my God, I've
chaos.
got too much
Why,
to deal with.
right? Why do we want chaos? Yeah. Yeah. And busyness and running. Yeah, I was getting tough with myself because I've just come home a handful of days and just pulled the blankets up and just gotten my books and not moved. And I started scolding myself. And then I went and grabbed a deck of something and I pull out. And of course, it's like four of swords, four swords, four swords. Rest, give
Rest,
yourself a break. Like,
rest,
it's okay. Be thankful. I've
go,
run for
go
so many
within.
years. Yes,
A lot
100%.
of
So I
times
was
we
like,
have to go within before we can blossom without, and come
absolutely.
out, shine our
Yes.
light. It's like we have to go in, find the light,
Right.
before we can shine it.
Yes. And the light is within, not without anywhere, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
find a lot of times people either blame themselves or they blame everybody else, which is a little
Mm,
bit narcissistic. And I think we all have some narcissistic tendencies.
yeah.
You can be to an extreme level, but uh, you have to quit blaming everybody else for your life. You have to take responsibility for your life and what
Right.
you can do with it. And know, you know, the serenity prayer, know what you can change, know what you can't,
Yes.
and let it go. And not look to blame everybody else for what happens to you. You're responsible for you and your reactions.
Right. Yeah. It's so beautiful. It's so true. We just, we're okay. Just Yeah, accept what is and don't always, yeah, be looking at. So yeah, we're in such a place of doing that. I think that's because we see so much of that constantly. Anytime you go out of your world, like into the media, the television, the whatever, oh my God, that's all they do.
Yeah, the
So
finger
you,
pointing at everybody else.
everybody, oh my goodness, it's just like, no, yeah, you gotta step back from that and just, yeah, be okay with yourself and take a breath. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've
It
been.
seems like, a lot of people have trouble just loving themselves
Mhm.
and, loving the imperfections. And it's like nobody's perfect. If we were perfect, we'd probably quit incarnating on Earth and move on.
Absolutely.
You know, we have things to
Absolutely.
learn. So, the
Yes.
imperfections often give us a chance to learn something. Um,
Yes.
and it,
Brene Brown has a book on imperfection. I forget what it's called, but she's wonderful with that stuff. Like, just, you know, I'm enough. I'm okay. Like, we're okay. That you're beautiful as your imperfections because it gives you, angles and different nuances that make you amazing.
yeah.
You know.
It's interesting too. Like a lot of times we'll try to move towards something else. Yeah, I always tell this story. Before I started reading full time, I worked, in retail in the corporate world for 40 years, and I was doing
Mhm.
readings on the side, but wanted to get into it full time, and had been thinking about doing it full time. Was laid off from a job, and was going for a job interview, and I got in a car accident, and it's like, oh, I'm
Wow.
hitting resistance. I'm not supposed to do
Yes.
that. I'm supposed to go read full time. I'm not supposed to get back in the corporate world.
Yes.
So, the universe, when you're hitting resistance, and it doesn't have to be that strong, like where you're in a car accident, but when you're hitting resistance and you're hearing like no's or not now or whatever, then you have to sometimes pause and say, okay, how can I do this differently? Um, because a lot of times when we start kind of veering in the wrong direction, we have momentum for going in the wrong direction. We have that,
Yes.
and it's hard to get off that momentum and shift gears and go a different way and look at it differently and get a different approach. It's hard to, a car put in neutral rolling downhill. It gets momentum, right? And it gets faster as it goes along. If you're getting momentum but in the wrong direction, it's hard to stop that and shift it,
Right.
in a different way. So just know that takes a little time. Be gentle with yourself
Yes.
if you're going through that.
Absolutely. And I think the month of October was just all this energy kind of leading us in these false directions. And it was all about discernment. Like,
Mhm.
listen to the signs, not the hype and not the, there was a lot astrologically going on with just, kind of being pushed into this, excited energy that wasn't necessarily what you're supposed to be doing. So just really pay attention. And I
Trust.
think, accepting those, the pieces, if you're getting that resistance. And I've had times where I've tried to push through, and you're like, oh no, it's,
It's like a
you
bull in
just,
a china shop when you can't push
yes,
through. It's like, why can't I make this happen? And I'm an Aries, so we got the horns. We like to push through.
yes,
Um, but it's interesting because you hit those resistance moments, and then you have to kind of pause, and it's like,
mhm,
trust your gut instincts, trust your first thought. A
yes,
lot of times that first thought, like, I should read full time. If I had gone that direction, I it would have been much smoother. And then watch for synchronicities. Watch for,
yes,
I call those little mile markers. Watch for little synchronicities, or sometimes you may have deja vu experiences, like, wow, I feel like I've been here before. Those are mile markers telling you, yes, I'm on the right path now. I'm going in the
right,
right direction now. I'm building my momentum in this direction. We want
yes,
everything yesterday. There's a lack of patience a lot of times, and it's like learning to trust divine order and divine timing and just getting aligned with it. It's like, you may not even know what you want. You may be kind of
right,
lost, like, I don't know what I want. Get quiet, go within, trust that
yes. Allow
first thought
yourself
that
the
you have.
stillness. Yeah,
Yeah.
allow that stillness. It's so hard for us. We are just trained like monkeys in a circus to keep running and running and doing so that we're not, at the center, because the center is not, spending tons of money and doing
Yeah.
all kinds of things that the, general society would like us to do. So, it's hard to go in, especially I think in our culture, so I think just allowing is practicing with allowing is huge,
But
just
I think
constant.
too, like we keep expecting hmm, the past to come up again. Like, oh, I
Mhm.
don't want to do that because when I did that before, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's a great excuse. Like, oh, that hasn't worked for me in the past or whatever. The past is to look at, to learn from. It's not to live in, and it's not to manifest the same thing over and over and over again, too. It's
Right.
like when you've learned from it, release it and get in the present. That helps to get aligned with divine order a little more if you can just get in the present and quit looking at the past. Okay, what'd you learn from that? Make a list. What'd you learn from it? And then
Right.
get back in the present.
Yes. Yeah, that's something I do in the fall. I always like do ancestor work, past healing work, like intercarnative, work, but you do have to get back out and just take your lessons and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's interesting.
fascinating.
A lot of people don't even know what they love to do. Like,
Mhm.
they get bored and they don't even know like what they'd
Yeah,
like to learn or what they'd like to experience. And so they have trouble manifesting because
right.
they they don't understand themselves enough to know, okay, I'd like to learn to paint, or I'd like to learn how to knit and crochet, whatever.
Yeah,
I'd like to
we've
learn
been
about
doing
how to
what
do genealogy or whatever it
yeah,
is that you feel guided to. Because I
yeah,
feel like, if we keep our minds active and we're constantly learning and everything, it keeps us younger, in a way. It
yes,
keeps our
for
energy
sure.
positive and younger. But a lot of people get stuck where they don't even know what they like
Yeah,
because they may have had a past experience that stifled them. Like, no, you're not allowed to express what you love. Um, so they really have to stop and get still and think about what they're drawn
yeah,
to and listen to themselves and then watch for those synchronicities to help align you with things, because the universe knows what would be good for you, what you would enjoy. So if you just open your heart up a little bit to it, you'll find things that you like to do.
yes. I mean, I think we've been doing things we're forced to do and don't want to do just as getting through life for so long. It's like we haven't given ourselves the time to kind of say, wow, what would I really enjoy?
Yeah,
It's hard.
choice.
You're going to work, you're going to running here, running there, errands, all the things, and you're like, what do I really want? We don't even think about it.
But
But
I
it's
think,
yeah,
choice is hard for some people to open up to, because you grow up with parents telling you what to do and your
yeah,
teachers telling you what to do, and then if you get out in the corporate world, your boss tells you what to do all the time,
for
right?
sure.
It's like somebody always telling you what to do, and you have to pause to think about what you want to do, what you
Who
want
am
to
I?
bring, what you
Yeah.
want to show up with and
Absolutely.
experience.
And it continues to change throughout life. Like if we, have a certain career and change gears, all that stuff's going to change. If we go through a major divorce or something, huge, all that's going to change. Like it's an organic situation, right? We just keep changing and keep deciding, okay, what's next for me, and what's happy and what's heart centered and what's, not just, what's next to earn a buck, which
Yeah.
is what I get obsessed with myself. I'm one of those people that, worries about, has, a scarcity mindset that I struggle with and different things. So I'm always worried about where's the next dollar's coming from.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to let go and say, you know what, I love this too. I can get by enough. Let's just do this thing that I really love.
it's
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 tricky.
scary when do a shift, a career shift or something, and it's not the
Yeah,
same income you were drawing before, because I went through that when I got out of the corporate world, where I
right,
drew a pretty good salary and started reading full time. But I also like prepared for it, so I downsized my cost of living.
right.
Like I
Right.
knew, okay, in order to do this and to still have financial abundance to where I can keep the
Yes.
roof over my head and pay the mortgage and everything, I had to
Right.
downsize my cost of living a little bit. Um,
Right.
but
Yep.
the
And that's not
universe,
bad. Like I've
yeah,
done the
it's
same
not
thing.
it
It's okay.
simplified. It simplified my life
Yes.
in a way that it's like, woo, I'm all this
Yes.
crap I've been carrying around and paying for and everything. I don't need that. I don't need that.
Right. Yes, that's so true. I do that every once in a while. Like, what have I got that I don't really need? Like, it's such an empowering, like, oh my God, I feel so much better, and I don't have to worry about those extra six bills coming in that, who knows what they are. And yeah, it's beautiful. Like
It's
that's such
funny.
a
I've been here since December of 2016 in this house, and I still have a room full of boxes that I got tired of unpacking, so I ignored it for a while, and then I started pulling out, like a box or a, a week or something, and just like just little bits of whatever.
yeah, yeah,
And as I'm going through things and looking at things like, okay, I don't want that anymore. I had a really fast move when I moved here, so I didn't have time to go through stuff before I moved. So everything was just
right,
kind of slammed into boxes. And as I'm going through it, I'm like, okay, I know I don't want it. Is it something that someone else would like or could use, i.e., donating it to a charity or Goodwill or something?
right,
Or is it something nobody wants? Is it
right,
broken? Just get rid of it, let it go, throw it in the garbage.
right, right, for sure. Hi, baby.
That's Roro.
Oh, Ro, hello. Good to see you. My Camille is too afraid to come and stand by the. She will someday, but I love Ro. I love your babies.
She's my
But yeah,
table cat.
that's so true. That's the other thing I've been thinking a lot about is just, all the earth changing and all the things, all the landfills and all these things. So I try to, first, like you said, Goodwill or somewhere, if I try not to buy less, I try to, if something's got to go out the door, I try to make it reusable before it ends up somewhere, and just have really been focusing on like, the instead of the big laundry jugs, I use those soap sheets that you just
Yeah.
throw in the boxes, recyclable, and like just trying to kind of reduce. And that honestly makes me feel abundant. It makes me feel joyful. It makes me feel, I just feel a lot of gratitude in trying to do my part.
I
It's
used to
that's
waste so much food.
yes.
Especially produce and stuff, but even like because I always try to keep cans of soup around, in case like if I got sick or something and I wanted
Yep.
soup
Me
to
too.
settle my stomach. So I always try to keep it, and I would notice, okay, this is from 3 years ago, so I never ate it. Like, don't don't keep it for only when you're sick.
Right, right, right.
I really have scaled back my um, grocery shopping a lot and find that
Yes.
I'm wasting a lot less.
Yes.
And just buying, if it's fresh produce, just buying enough for a week, not buying like it's the
Right.
last time I'm ever going to see a grocery store again.
Right. Yeah, I think COVID triggered a lot of that, but yeah, I'm backing it up too because yeah, the amount that's wasted. I agree with you. I put stuff in the garbage. I'm like, oh, I feel there's a layer of guilt. I just,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I mean, I was thinking about it every time I would throw wasted, rotting food away, stuff that had gone bad. Like, and I have a mulch pile, so I usually throw it in my mulch pile. But I would just watch the dollars that I spent on it,
Yes.
like I was just throwing
Yes.
money out. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I wasted $5 on that. Why did I do that?
Right.
Because I
Yep.
didn't use it.
100%. And I always have guilt with that. Like I'm always just like, oh my God, okay. So just a better planning, I think, and little
Yeah.
bits at a time.
So
Yeah.
bringing awareness
Hmm.
um, to like where you waste energy or where you waste money or where you waste, where things are wasting and not being used
Yes.
and utilized can help you to recover some of that and lead to a more bountiful life where,
Yes.
you're not throwing as much out in the mulch pile like I used to have to do.
Right. For sure. Yep. And it just turns around as abundance.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's beautiful. I love that. Yeah.
Um, it's funny, like, thinking about relationships, even like if you in the past have dated a certain type of person over and over, and then it never works out, letting go of that pattern and saying, okay, here's what I've learned from it.
Mhm.
um you know for me, like, I've always, when I was younger, was drawn to artsy fartsy musicians and things like that, or people
Yeah,
that were artistic. And I'm like, it's all glittery on the outside, and I get into the relationship, and there's just nothing there that fulfills me in the
right.
relationship. So it never works out long term. Um, and then learning, okay, you be the bohemian, you be the artsy fartsy one. Let the go
Right.
date the dentist or the optometrist or someone else.
That's awesome. I love that. Yes, it's yeah.
So reflecting back on the past, just don't live in the past. If you
Yeah.
catch yourself just constantly like living in the past, well, I used to have a husband that took care of me and did everything, and then we got divorced, and now it's just me. Okay, well, what'd you learn from that? You learned you enjoyed sharing your life with someone, so you want to manifest that to bring someone new in that you can have that companionship with, and look at
Right.
look at what you've learned from it and grow from it.
Right. And that you can be also sustaining and taking care of yourself on your own, and that you have, maybe the choice how much you let someone in, and maybe you don't get married again. Maybe you just, spend time or are together, and just not, you're still taking care of yourself instead of that feeling of having someone else, that's a complicated thing when you feel cared for by
Yep.
someone else. Gets tricky.
When there's a codependency thing going on, you have to stop and think about, okay, how do I take care of myself,
Right.
and not have that
Yeah.
codependency thing going on.
Mhm.
A lot of times too, like just getting out and doing something, by yourself. You don't have to have someone else do it with you. Although that can make it more comfortable for a lot of people to invite a friend to try something, a new activity with. Um, but you have to, to get out and do things on your own. Um, if you don't feel secure doing it, stop and think about,
Mhm.
why don't I feel secure? Like,
Right.
why can't I, like, when I first moved here, the first thing I did the first weekend, was go bowling on a Sunday morning, because that's a great way to meet other people that like to bowl.
Right.
So it is a time where, yeah, there's younger people and there's older people, but mostly people my age on Sunday mornings. It wasn't like, Friday nights, date night, where it was all
Right, right.
kids. So it was fun. That was where I made my first friends when I moved here, was getting out and bowling, doing
Yes.
something I enjoyed.
Yes.
And I always talk to other people that are, bowl better than me, to learn from them. Like, okay, how can I get, better? Um, and
Right,
making
and
friends with them. And even like, there were a lot of men at the bowling lanes, but they would bring their wives in and introduce them to me. Yes, I started
right.
making friends with their wives even. So um, it's
Yes.
it's amazing, if you'll step out and do things on your own, the
Yes.
the people you'll cross paths with. And
Right.
sometimes the only thing you have to do is say good morning to somebody to start
Right.
a conversation.
Absolutely, and I think it's important to say that good morning, or to find a way to start conversation. Like, sometimes that's all it takes, and then you're laughing, and, things are happening. But I think, if you're scared to go, or if uncomfortable, like, to go by yourself, like, pick something easy, like maybe bowling feels, not so threatening. But, like, some people are mortified to go to dinner by themselves.
Yeah.
It's just, maybe go have a coffee, or go to a movie, or go somewhere. It's good to kind of, yeah, get out on your own and see who's around you, and just, say that first hello, I think, is,
Just
yeah,
going for a
it's,
walk,
oh my
go to an
gosh.
area where, you like the shops or something, and just getting out,
Hmm.
going for a walk, window shopping.
Yes. and
Um,
and doing things that are of interest to you, so you're meeting like-minded people. Like, if you take an art class because you love art, then you're going to meet artists, and other people learning art. So that's, It's exciting. Like that's a huge, I mean, I think doing things like that, and in terms of just being grateful and grateful that we're out able to go out and do things, I think it lifts your mood.
Mhm.
It just improves, like, kind of boosts you, gets you up, gets you feeling better, it gives you a little strength. Just that gratitude, it kind of shifts you when you get out and you're like, oh wow, this is great, okay, I'm glad I did this. And always having that grateful mindset, I think it just lifts us up. Even doing things for other people, it kind of lifts you up.
Yeah.
Just
I have
constantly
go
reminded of all we have.
going bowling by myself, and if I hadn't been in a little while and I was a little rusty, just laughing at myself when I would throw a gutter ball. It's like, oh man, I gotta get warmed up. Hang on. uh,
Right.
Not being afraid to look foolish sometimes, because that's how we learn.
Absolutely.
Nobody starts
Always.
out as the best bowler in the world. Nobody starts out learning how to knit and doing beautiful things. Boy, you want to talk about, you know, you want to get into starting conversations. If you like to do yarn projects, go to a yarn shop.
Oh my
People will
God, that's
tell you
awesome.
all about the yarns and what's worked for them and what hasn't. I find people very conversational
Yes.
yarn shop.
Absolutely. I wish they would start. I've checked out my locals, and I wish there was a place where they'd have just like knitting night or something, or
Yeah.
crochet night, where everybody just sits and chats. And, you know, it's so, but I don't see one. I know there's a couple of yarn shops by me, but they close pretty early. So, but that's exciting too. Like, that's what a great way to just be together and just relax and have fun and laugh, you
When I
know.
lived in Pennsylvania, we had a knitting crochet group in Barnes and Noble. We would meet on Monday nights in Barnes and
Nice.
Noble, so it wasn't in a yarn shop, because they knew we would buy patterns and the magazines and
Sure,
stuff for
sure.
crafting and things. And they would let us, use the space. And it was a two-story Barnes and Noble. They'd let us use
That's
space upstairs and just sit and knit and crochet, because we're not bothering anybody. We're buying stuff from them all the time,
right,
as well as other books, because you're in
right.
Barnes and Noble. Um, so we just said, local libraries, you
Local
could
libraries,
start
my
your own
local
knitting
library
group.
does. Yep, they have a
Um,
lot going on. Yeah, that's a great place to look, is the library, and all the lists of like speakers and plans and programs. If you've got a good library, oh my gosh, it's so fun.
Like,
That's
even
my
in my
dream job.
little bitty one red light town, we have such a great little community library. They send out, um, a month in advance, like the next month's classes are offering, and they have classes for all ages, from toddler and preschool, all the way to
Right.
seniors, and things that are for everybody. And, anything from photography to
Yes,
how to apply for Medicare,
absolutely.
Medicaid. It's like they have classes on everything. And they'll
Yes,
tell you,
yes,
some of them they'll charge little fees for supplies, so they'll have a little fee involved. But it's another opportunity to get out. And they offered a beekeeping class, which I wanted to take, but I wasn't here. I think it was when I was in Sedona or something. I wasn't here to take it. I was like, offer that again, because I want to learn how to do beekeeping in this cold climate in the winter.
wow, there you go.
And I'm like, what do they do with the bees in the winter? It's so cold. Like,
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
have
where do they
I
go?
don't know
That's a
anything
good
about it,
point.
but
Yeah,
I love
yeah. Oh
honey.
my,
So I'm like, I would love to learn how to do beekeeping. So
that's
hopefully they'll offer it
awesome.
again.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I live out where I am, was a wild some years back. We were up against I was really far south. We were up against all the farm country, and there were a lot of beekeepers out there. And I'm like, wow, what do they do when it gets cold? How do the bees manage it? Yeah, that's fascinating. But honest to God, I always think like our library system in Illinois is amazing, but in the country, we are so lucky. Like, it's just so exciting. Like, that's my retirement job. When I retire, I want to go be a librarian a couple days a week. I love that environment, but there's so much exciting stuff going on in the libraries. Like, it's just incredible. That's another thing to be super grateful for. I'm always grateful.
That's one thing,
For
like,
the library.
everywhere I've lived, I've always, because I like to read a lot and I have a lot of books, and some books I like to reread, so I keep them, like,
Yes.
I'll reread them a lot. But others, it's like, I just box them up and take them to the library so someone else can enjoy them and donate them. They love
Yes.
donations.
Yes, 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 for sure. Yep, I've got a stack on my floor because I've been trying to clear out. Oh my gosh, I had to add a whole during COVID. I had to have had a whole nother bookshelf because I was just reading stack after stack, and a lot of them pass on. Either I take them to the library or take them to, Goodwill or wherever. But oh my goodness, yeah,
Uh,
it's it's
for
hard.
talking about, like, getting out and doing something that may feel a little uncomfortable to you at first, to get out and try new things. uh I always tell people, stop and think about what makes you insecure. Where is that insecurity
Mm,
coming from? Like, I'm too shy or introverted to talk openly with strangers. What is that? And then pushing yourself a little bit to try it. Try it just in the grocery store, saying good morning, good afternoon, how are you? Start a little conversation as you're checking out, learning
right.
to break that bubble a little bit. I mean, you want to balance out the introvert with the extrovert a little bit. Now, I can be
Yeah.
very extroverted as an Aries. I can be very out there, so I have to learn when to pull back,
Yeah.
because I can talk to anybody. But learning to balance those things and learning uh, new ways of bringing out your thoughts. A lot of people think, well, I'm not an interesting person. I don't have anything interesting to say.
Mm.
And it's like, that's interesting right there. Tell me about that. Like, so,
Right.
get just stopping and thinking about why does this situation make me feel insecure? Where's it coming from?
Yeah.
And what can I do to alleviate some of those insecurities and to align myself with the gratitude and the bountiful life, and push me out
Mhm.
there a little bit,
Yes. Yeah. It's
because
tricky.
we
It's
can't make
hard.
you do it. We can't. Nobody can make you do it. It all has to come from
Right.
within.
Yes, for sure. I love all the bees in our comments. Everybody's piling in the bees. It's so adorable. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. But
it only makes sense if you love honey. Like, I use a lot of honey. I sometimes use it to sweeten my tea, and I'll cook with it. And I love honey on toast. I'm a big honey eater. Um, it's like, wow, I should, like, make my own honey or have my own honey. I don't make it. Have my own bees to make it. Before I moved into this house, I was in a rental house, and one of my neighbors up the hill from me had honey every year. And another neighbor told me about it. I was like, wow, I need some local honey, because it helps with
yes,
your allergies and stuff. And they're like, oh, so and so has beehives every spring or summer or whatever.
isn't that
They
great?
sell jars of honey, and you just go knock on their door. And so I went up there
Yeah,
with my wallet. I was like, oh gosh, local
yeah,
honey right here, like, three doors
yeah,
down where I was living. It was awesome. And what was really interesting was their house. So many flowers in their yards for the pollinators. They
yes. It's
abundance
beautiful.
of flowers. I was like, oh, it makes sense. You got to have something for the bees to feed off of.
Right, right. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I want to know what are people's like most favorite things that they are that they feel gratitude for, like something unique that we might not know. Anybody want to share anything that they're like, oh, I'm so grateful for this? Like, I'm just curious to see what people are thinking in the chat.
Uh,
If
Some
there's something you're really grateful for.
sometimes things that you weren't um, thinking about getting into,
Hmm.
you
And it totally,
stumble into it, and it ends up being such a
yes,
blessing. Like, you really enjoy it. I call it stumbling into grace. It's
yes,
uh, to suddenly stumble on um, something you didn't know that you liked,
Right. You
or
really
enjoy doing.
didn't expect in life, and then all of a sudden, holy cow, wow, I didn't see that coming, and it's awesome, Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
think,
incredible.
like when I was in Sedona, I was teaching healing energy work, and the technique anyone can do. There's certain people that are a natural at it that are going to pick it up quicker, but
Mhm.
anyone can do it. And it was really interesting. People that took the class that said, I think I just found my life purpose. I want to learn more about this. I want to like experience more different types of healing modalities and stuff. Like this woke
Right.
something up in me that I
Yes.
didn't realize was there.
Yes, that's how I was with sound healing. Like,
Yeah,
it hit me. I was at a gong bath and I was like, "Oh my goodness. Wow, I can feel it in here," and it
yeah.
just, yeah, and yeah, that's so true. And I do all kinds of arts and crafts like that. When you're in that place of joy where you're just feeling so good and you look up and the hours have gone by, I think that's
Bringing that inner child out to play.
yes, because, oh my goodness, like for myself, being young like that, inner child, nope, always shut down. There's so many times like a teacher or whoever, oh, you can't do that. Oh, you don't, blah, blah, blah. And you just shut those parts of you away. But I know a lot of people in the chats are like, being retired, I can like go out and play with all my hobbies and go, play and like just nobody tells you no anymore. That's a great thing about getting older.
It, they have how people will make manifesting boards, things they want to
Yes.
manifest, and I think it would be great to make dream boards, like things that
Yes.
just get some magazines and put some things in it that you dream about bringing into your
Yes.
life, that maybe you
Yeah.
hadn't thought about. So allowing yourself to dream, allowing yourself to get the imagination going.
Yes, for sure. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. On my Spark channel, I have a vision board, like video. If you don't know anything about that or how to do it, there's one on there somewhere. I think it's under vision board and not dream board, but same concept, like
Yeah,
just all
I
the things
just
that you love that inspire you. And it's amazing when I hang those up. I'll look at it, a month later and I'll find most of those things in my life one way or another. You don't even realize the power of looking at that every day and acknowledging, you
isn't
know.
it interesting? Like everybody expects, like, oh, when you're on a spiritual journey, it's like bam, bam, bam. It's like no, it's like a gradual process, and then
Right.
you kind of look back and reflect, and it's like, oh wow, that did happen.
Yeah,
you
that did happen. That's
know,
what I find myself saying.
it's like we don't,
Mm,
we expect the lightning bolt moments, where we're just
right.
suddenly, opening up our metaphysical gifts and things. And it's like no, it's a gradual process.
Yes, for sure. For
But
sure.
I think it's like that, in the working world. I didn't start out as a buyer, and then product development that I got into. I started out working store line, working a
Yes.
smaller job, and it's just you work your way up. It's the same thing on a spiritual journey. You work
Absolutely.
and
Oh my
learn and
gosh.
grow. I'm still learning.
Yes.
My
Yes.
guides still pull new things on me when I'm doing healing energy work. It's like, oh, wait, what's that? Wait a minute.
Yes. Mountain dancer, New Hampshire mountain dancer, maybe, is saying, just sitting in my warm apartment watching the snow fall. Like, that is so true for me too. Sitting in my place, knowing I'm safe and warm, not having to go anywhere, looking at that snow, or if it's pouring rain and there's a thunderstorm, I get such a sense of gratitude when I do that. That is such a beautiful thing for me too. Thank you for mentioning
that,
that.
that is my favorite, just being in the moment with peace
Yes.
and in the dream state, like almost like kind of daydreamy, but it's there's that's one of my favorite things to do is just to watch it snow. I love to sit and
Yes.
watch it snow,
Yes.
snuggled in your blanket with a cup of hot chocolate.
Yes, knowing you're safe and warm and you're not struggling in traffic or anything and just letting it like you get into like a dream state for sure. Oh, that's so amazing.
And
Yeah.
Paisley's saying, I've been grateful for the tower moments. A lot of
Yes.
times
I saw that.
something that
Yes.
we perceive as negative is actually getting you, like I was talking about the car accident that got me to
Right.
say, no, don't go back to the corporate world. Go with your first gut instinct, read full time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I so enjoyed it. It's like, oh my gosh, I like, working from home and meeting new people every day.
Yes.
Um,
It's
it's
amazing.
sometimes what doesn't seem like a blessing is a blessing in disguise to wake you up to, oh,
Right.
I get it.
Absolutely.
The universe
Yeah.
knows what we need, if even if you don't.
Yeah, and I think looking back and going, "Oh my god, that happened." Like, it changed my life, that little car accident, not little, but, like, it's amazing too, like, the feeling when you look back and you see how the universe just put everything in
Right.
place. It's
Look
incredible.
at us. I met you in Sedona.
Yes.
The first year I was teaching, and now we're on YouTube together.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yes. Yes. Right.
You're
Absolutely.
going into that sound journey, which is just beautiful, and we can come together and create videos like this. It's like, wow,
Yes.
who would have known when I met you that we
Right.
would one day be doing videos together?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
wasn't even thinking about that, right?
Yeah. It's awesome. It's amazing. Like,
Happy
yeah,
accidents,
happy
it's not,
accidents.
there are no accidents, it's
No.
synchronicities, and it's like, oh wow, okay.
Yes,
I feel
being open to it and just, I mean, grateful. Oh,
Mary Harrow in the chat. She was my assistant, in Sedona, and
wow.
like, just didn't know I was going to meet her and love her to pieces.
Wow. It's awesome. Yay.
So
This is
sometimes
gratitude
when
right
you're not,
now.
yeah, when you're not looking, sometimes for those friendships and those things that they surprise you. They just come out of nowhere. It's like, oh wow,
Yes,
you need this person in your life.
absolutely. Yeah, it's
So
beautiful.
sometimes if you're looking for it, it's almost like it pushes it away from you a little bit. It's like, if you're looking for a relationship, the relationships always happen when you're not looking.
Right.
I feel like, a lot of these people that I've met on YouTube, I wasn't looking for them, but here they are, and it's
Yeah.
just wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. Woohoo.
I didn't know I needed Mary in my life.
Oh, I love it.
It's interesting.
That's awesome. Yes.
Um, I think too, like, it's important to have affirmations, even if you're, not feeling it in the moment.
Right.
Can you find a small affirmation, a small thing to be grateful for, a small thing that you're trying to
Mhm.
manifest? Can you take that baby step and say one little affirmation, like just getting up in the morning and saying, I'm going to have a beautiful day today? That's
Right.
a simple, small affirmation. Um, if you're trying to create financial abundance, I am financially abundant. Well, you may not be feeling it today. So maybe it's, I have $5 more in my pocket today than I had yesterday.
Right.
Make it smaller and attainable to you, so that you can get in the moment and find that gratitude.
Yes. And Cheryl just said, COVID brought us together on YouTube, that is horrifying as it was, really grateful that it brought us all together from all over the world, in this place that I wouldn't have thought of it before COVID all
Well,
be together online.
YouTube brought us together even before COVID, though. My
Mhm.
channel I started in
That's true. That's
2018.
true. Yeah.
Uh, there's a lot of us that came together because of politics.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
even something that can be negative like politics had a positive, thing where a community came together and found soul
Yes.
support, so to speak,
Right.
with
For
like-minded
sure.
people or whatever that is. And uh,
Yeah. It's,
finding something even when there's negative things going on in the world. I mean, all you have to look at is what's going on in Israel and Gaza and say, I am grateful I'm in a safe space today, that I don't have a war going on in my backyard, you know?
yes, yes, yeah.
Grateful for a soft, sweet kitty cat that's going to
Yes, me
here.
too.
She always comes up when it's about time to light the candle, and I always have to
Oh,
watch her. Like, you'll see me shaking the candle around
to not light her tail on fire.
because she tries to sniff at the flames. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
even in the my bathroom, because I love doing bubble baths by candlelight. I have a little tiny
Oh,
shelf.
yeah.
It's only wide enough for tea lights, up kind of high above the bathtub, and I line little tea lights down it and light them. And Roro gets on the edge of the bathtub and is trying to reach for the candles to swat at the flames. I'm like, that is not a toy. That is hot. Like, she's right here already.
While you light the candle, I'm lighting us a little sweetgrass.
Paisley saying, I am brave, I am strong. Repeat it until the moment passes, keeps me
Awesome.
from spiraling into darkness.
Love that.
Um, just saying simple things like, I am loved and safe, you know, and
Hmm.
just feeling that will keep you from spiraling.
Yeah, whatever
Surrounded
your
by
words are.
beautiful white light within
Yeah.
as well as around.
Yeah. Find your words for sure that work. Yeah, that are yours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another, like, I love to journal and write. So if you're an introvert and you have trouble getting out and making friends, maybe, you know, try writing your thoughts down and things. Maybe that's where your gift is sharing through the written word, not the spoken word.
Right.
We all have gifts. Trying to discover what they are is the fun of it.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes, because we learn from mistakes.
Yes.
So we're going to go into our candle lighting. I could sit here and talk all day with you, Gail. It's just
Yeah. No.
hey to Jody Roberts, that started the Sacred Sounds of Coffee with me. We love you. We miss you. Sending wonderful healing light to Jody to continue her healing journey.
Yes.
Um, so Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Ariel, and any other archangel energy that you would like to call in. We surrender to your mercy, compassion, and healing. We thank you for gracing us with a bountiful life that starts within. We thank you for releasing all of our insecurities that no longer serve us, and for opening the door to positive abundance. We thank you for everything that we can be grateful for today. I am grateful for today, this moment, this experience, this energy of love that fills my soul and speaks to all of those that I share this energy with. I am grateful for being aligned with divine order, divine timing, and I am grateful for affirmations and synchronicities or signs to allow me that security of knowing when I am on the right path. We thank you for aligning us to where we need to be, starting with where we are right now in this moment. Just allow ourselves to come back into focus, back in our bodies. Thank you for that beautiful sound, Beth Gail. So, if you haven't subscribed to Gail's channel, there's a link in my description box under the video. It's Soul Spark Therapy. Please do subscribe to her so you can chat with us in our December Sacred Sounds of Coffee, because that will be on Gail's channel. We do these first Friday of every month, so it actually will be December 1st that will be on your channel.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh wow, does that mean I have to get up on New Year's Eve?
Oh,
New Year's Day? No, that's no, it's a few days after New Year's. Okay.
okay.
I was like, oh gosh, I hope I don't have to get up on January 1st. my mind went there because we stay up late on New Year's Eve doing New Year's parties.
Awesome. Oh, Paisley, I hope you charged your amethyst. That's awesome. Sound does that. I charge all my guys with the sound. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I always love holding a crystal in my right hand, like an amethyst or whatever stone I'm working with, and a clear quartz in the left hand will
Yes.
amplify it.
Yes.
So if you hold both at the same time, a clear quartz along with another crystal will always amplify that other one.
Somebody
Wow.
wants to say goodbye to. She knows we're ending.
Did you notice as soon as I went to reach for the lighter, there was Roro right in the way?
Yeah. They just know, like the animals love the sound healing. They just,
Yeah, they
yeah.
do. But she was like leaning over, and I was hold her back. She wanted to sniff the candle. I'm like, one of these days I'm going to let her singe her
Yes.
little whiskers.
See
a
what
little bit so
happens.
she learns. But she was,
Oh,
and these are unscented candles. I'm like, what is she smelling? You know,
right. Right. She's just wondering, what's that light thing right there?
I think it's just the way flames flicker. But thank you all
Yes.
for joining us on this
Yes.
Friday. We hope
Oh,
you
yes.
have, because we won't see you till after Thanksgiving. So we hope
Right.
you have wonderful holidays if you're here in the
Yeah.
U.S. For those celebrating Thanksgiving, and for those that don't, usually I'm live on Thanksgiving Day at some point. So feel free to join me on Thanksgiving Day.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you to everybody. Oh my gosh, I feel so much gratitude right now just with this group of people that are so awesome. It's wonderful. Yay.
Find something to smile at. Find something to bring you a little bit of joy today. You don't
Yes.
have to worry about tomorrow. Just one day at a time.
Yep. 100%.
Thank
Yay.
you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.